So, I have some news to share with our members today. Many of you know Monty Montgomery. He was first elected as a member of the CSC bargaining team back in '93. And he was at every single bargaining table since then, you know. He is the only CSC employee from either side of the table to hold such a distinction. You know, a year later, he was elected to the local executive of Local 70652 in 1994, where he served as a second vice president. You know, human rights was the cornerstone of Monty's activism. As a delegate in the 1996 UNDE Triennial Convention, Monty was instrumental in establishing the Human Rights Advisor to the UNDE National Executive position. He was appointed as the first UNDE Employment Equity Coordinator for the CSC region, and in that capacity, he attended the second PSAC Access Conference as a delegate, and then attended every triennial annual conference since then. Monty furthered his human rights advocacy at the '97 PSAC Triennial Convention, where he was heavily involved in lobbying the delegation on issues relating to employment equity and human rights. So Monty was elected as a local president back in '97, and then became the VP for the region in '99, serving a couple of consecutive terms. He did so much work. Like, his presence is so felt. You know, he initiated the first campaign to amalgamate two of CSC's three locals into one, was working on the universal classification standard. He oversaw the locals' representation of over 300 successful classification grievances. He initiated discussions with the chief of CSC to develop more effective approach to bargaining, and they started really making some really big movements in your contract with the interest-based bargaining. They were able to actually get the employer to understand what a useful tool a collective agreement could be. Monty initiated with the chief the first union management consultation committee. He was awarded the CSC Cohesion Award in 2007 because of his work with the interest-based bargaining. You know, I could just go on and on and on about Monty and all of his accomplishments. You know, he's quite a fighter. He was in the plane crash in Alert, 40 hours stuck in a snowstorm before anybody could come out to help him. Lost all of his fingers, most of his toes, and yet he just kept going. You know, he retired in December of 2019, and it was my honor to be able to give him the UNDE lifetime membership, which was very dear to my heart for being able to have that opportunity. And Monty planned on traveling the world. He was going to every Disneyland, Disney World in the world. He had the tickets, everything. He was going. And January 30th, he got diagnosed with cancer. So the plan got put on hold. He parsed out little bits here and there throughout, but essentially just spent the last 3 years fighting for his life. Probably some of you visited with him at the last UNDE convention here in Ottawa. He came throughout. It was very big support throughout the whole time. I've always looked up to Monty. I've had a great deal of respect for him. You know, even last week, he's laying on his bed in the hospital and we're having union meetings. Talking about different strategies in the union and how to employ greater motivation on the employer with some of the techniques we've learned over the years. Well, last night Monty left us. He left his wife Beth and his son Morgan, and he's finally at rest now. But I'm going to miss him. And all of you who know him, I know for sure you're going to miss him too. And I'm really sorry that I have to pass this information on to you. But I'd like everybody to please stand, if you're able to, for a moment of silence for Monty.